Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. In this video, I finally venture beyond Istanbul to explore more of Turkey. This time to Cappadocia. Located a convenient 1-hour flight away from Istanbul, Cappadocia is one of the most popular tourist destinations in the entire country. It's famous for the iconic sunrise hot air balloon rides, as well as the historic cave dwellings that date as far back as the Byzantine era. Let's go explore this region of Turkey for ourselves. Morning everyone, and greetings from Cappadocia, Turkey. I'm talking to you now. It is currently 3:30 in the morning. Why am I awake so early, you ask? It's for a really exciting reason. One of the things Cappadocia is most famous for is taking hot air balloon rides, and these hot air balloons leave super early in the morning because they happen at sunrise. So that is what we are going to do now. We are starting our trip off with the biggest thing. We haven't seen anything else in Cappadocia because we arrived yesterday pretty late. It was dark and we basically just went to the hotel and went to bed knowing we'd have to wake up at 3:30 in the morning. So we are going to go do our hot air balloon ride. There's going to be breakfast included with that, some champagne, and of course some amazing views over the whole area. So let's go. Was it? Just got out of the balloon. That was such a magical, amazing experience. I've never experienced anything quite like that. Up in the sky, it's so quiet other than the fire jetting up into the balloon, and it's so amazing. And it was actually a lot warmer than I was expecting, which is great. The landing was so smooth, so professional, so I think that is definitely worth the purchase in Cappadocia, Turkey, 100%.
3.
So after a super early morning, me and Dasha are headed back to bed for a few hours because waking up at 3 in the morning is not the nicest thing in the world. So we're gonna nap, eat some food, and then wander around the city. If I'm being completely honest, we didn't really plan anything for this trip other than the hot air balloon. So now at this point, we're kind of just wandering around the town. The sun is so intense right now. I kind of wish we just stayed at the hotel room and napped midday and then went out later. But we're out here. It's quite nice. Oh, and there is a dog. everyone, checking in again. We ended up going back to our hotel room because it is incredibly hot here during the day, so we just decided to nap for a little while and cool down. But now it's after 5 o'clock, so we decided to head out once more into the beautiful nature of this region. Right now we are in Zelve Open Air Museum, which is a really cool historic site. This was originally built to be a sort of self-sustaining community or a monastery of sorts, if you would. And this was actually in operation until 1952, which is absolutely insane. If you look at the valley all around me, you can see that there's lots of holes in the caves, and people actually lived in there. They milled grain in there, they kept all their crops and livestock in there. It's absolutely crazy and super cool, so let's go exploring a little bit. Okay, so this was a really interesting stop, and I recommend it if you're in the area. There's another place that's a little bit more popular than this one. It's called the Gourime Open Air Village. I'm so sorry if I'm butchering that, but it's sort of the same concept. It's a self-contained monastery, except it's a lot smaller. There's more well-preserved churches there, and it's a lot more popular. So if you want to get a little bit off the beaten track, I recommend going to this one instead. Entry is 50 lira, and that gets you into the park until close. And there's a lot to explore, and it's really pleasant in the evening when it cools down a bit. Hello and good morning everyone. Today we're having another incredibly early wake up, and we've woken up today to go to the rooftop of our hotel and watch the sunrise with the balloons in the back. You can see them all around me. It's really nice. We woke up at like 5:40, so not as bad as yesterday when we woke up at 3:30. It was still a bit too early, but I think it's well worth it. So here I have a pretty good example of a nice Turkish breakfast. The presentation is a bit different than what you would get in a restaurant. In a restaurant you have all of these same things, but they're spread out onto dozens of tiny little plates to like really show off the abundance. Turkish breakfast is one of the things I really like in Turkey because it's very fresh and full of a lot of good ingredients, pretty healthy ingredients too for the most part. So here I have some cucumber, tomato, olives, of course, some ham, lots of cheese. I have a basket of bread because bread is always a part of Turkish breakfast. And I also have, of course, you cannot have any Turkish food without a cup of Turkish tea. And the traditional way of making Turkish tea is brewing the black tea really strong, pouring half of it into the glass, and then filling it up the rest of the way with water. And I also really enjoy Turkish tea, so cheers to a new day. A distinguished gentleman, hi! It is a few hours later right now, and at this moment we're headed to another open air museum. This one's just about a 25-minute walk away from the city center of Gourime. It's called the Gourime Open Air Museum, and it's pretty similar to the one we went to yesterday, except it's a lot smaller and it has a higher concentration of Byzantine churches inside and impressive architecture. We're taking a little break right now because we walked and it's super hot and bright out. We yesterday mentioned that you shouldn't walk during midday, and we went right ahead and went for a walk at midday. So in order to rest, I got myself a little cup of pomegranate juice. If you walk around anywhere in Istanbul or the city, you'll see these little stations where they have fresh pomegranates and oranges, and they'll turn them into juice for you. So I have this. It's incredibly sour, but I guess pomegranates are just a really sour fruit. But yeah, we're just resting here for a while. Okay everyone, that's it for our trip to Cappadocia. It was overall really nice, very hot, and pretty eventful. So if you are interested in exploring Turkey beyond Istanbul, I highly recommend this as one of the top destinations to go to. Only 1 hour away from Istanbul and super fun. Hello everyone, I am safely back in Istanbul now, and I just wanted to take this moment to really quickly thank all of my patrons. Without all of you, this trip would not have been possible, and I am so endlessly thankful. If you are interested in supporting me on Patreon or via Buy Me a Coffee, I have the links in the description and in my About page on YouTube. It means so much to me that you all support me and make it possible for me to live my dreams doing what I love, making videos. So once again, thank you so much. I also wanted to take this moment to briefly thank ECOSUSI. ECOSUSI is a brand that makes vintage-inspired handbags, and they recently sent me a bag in the mail, and I have been absolutely loving it. If you've seen any of my previous videos, you might have noticed because I've been wearing it literally every single day. I have it right here, and I'm so happy with it. This fits all of my camera equipment, my laptop, iPad, everything I could possibly need. It's big, and I think it's quite stylish. So this is my daily beater. I take this when I travel, and I absolutely love it. So if you are interested in ECOSUSI, I will provide a link in the description. With that all being said, I bid you farewell, and I will see you in my next video.